Chris Lee, Blaine Gilmer, and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 here. We are previewing Alabama's trip to Arkansas with snazzy new graphics, too. I think that got a smile out of all of us. Numbers on this game may vary. Kickoff is going to be 3:30 Eastern on CBS. There's the numbers in front of you. I think the over-under opened at 62. I think the line opened at 16.5, so maybe a little movement between now and the publishing of this graphic. But, guys, Alabama rolled over Vanderbilt 55-3. Arkansas lost a heartbreaker in just kind of bizarre fashion. This is going to be a game I think Hog fans have circled for a while, and certainly Alabama fans too.
Yeah, I think when you talk about the bad bounces that Arkansas got in that game, I mean they're going in to make it 21 points there on Texas A&M early on, and guys, KJ Jefferson extends the ball out, and the play that Texas A&M's defense made, the heads-up play to hand that ball off and go, it was crazy that they had the wherewithal to do that in the play. But you talk about turning that game on a dime, Blake. Arkansas seemed to have all the momentum in the world, and then that just sucked the air out of everything.
Yeah, and then now, you just wonder. I mean, this was, again, the game we were circling before the season started against Alabama. You come back home. Obviously, you're feeling a little bit differently if you get that A&M win, but now you sit here and have to prepare for a team. Let's be honest, guys. I mean, stylistically, we know Alabama can throw the ball. We know what Bryce Young can do with the passing game, and their playmaking ability. That is going to be something that undoubtedly, going into this game, the big talk is about what for Arkansas. That's the secondary, and I think just looking at that aspect of it, no doubt, this is going to be a big kind of setup here in terms of what is that Alabama passing offense going to be able to do against an Arkansas secondary that's getting some help back, but has certainly been an object of attention thus far, given kind of the ups and downs there.
All right, Blaine, let's talk about it when Alabama's got the ball. Alabama averaging 48.3 points a game, Arkansas giving up 26. 8-point yards a pass for Alabama, Arkansas giving up just an abysmal 8.3 per throw. There's been some injuries in the secondary. Arkansas did get a key player back. I'll let you hit that in a minute. Alabama averaging 7.2 yards a rush. Good grief, that's crazy. And Arkansas giving up 3.2. What are you seeing in this matchup when Bama's got the ball, Blaine?
And they're really going to put some strain on the back end of Barry Odom's defense over there, even with Slusher, how he came back and played better in the back end. Admittedly, the secondary wasn't necessarily the problem, Blake, in that game against Texas A&M. They only gave up 151 passing yards to Max Johnson, held him to 11 of 21, but it seemed like at key times, they weren't able to get the stops that they needed there at the end to get things going. And, I just think you're going to see Alabama coming in with a lot of confidence, having gotten things going a little bit to Jermaine Burton specifically, got him rolling a little bit in that Vandy game. I think that was big for his confidence, his mental psyche. But, it's going to be different, though, Blake and Chris, because when Alabama has the ball, DWR is going to be loud. It's going to be a loud place, and Bama has not fared well on the road, Blake. So I'm interested to see how Alabama handles the road environment, because you look back to last year at Jordan-Hare Stadium against a not very good Auburn team. They should have lost that game. They should have lost the Texas game in Austin this year. So they're coming to a noisy DWR with an Arkansas team with their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, no, it's a big test on the road. Like you said, you look at that Texas game as kind of a point of reference. Was not Alabama's best game, and it's still, a team. We talk about the penalties and those kind of things, especially in that kind of atmosphere. We've talked about the penalties in that game against Texas and other games too. So I think that's something to watch. And like you said, Blaine, I mean, you talk about a difference going from Texas A&M's passing offense, which is getting better, to now having to combat what Bryce Young can do through the air. I think of this Alabama passing offense, there's going to be a big challenge there without question for Arkansas. And it's just getting Slusher back, and how does that kind of help? I mean, it's going to help. I think it's just, what does that kind of look like for Arkansas, and how much will they improve just based off of that? So,
okay, before we get into when Arkansas's got the ball, shout out to our sponsor, Steaks. Big games coming up in the SEC this week. We are making predictions in the Stakes app. That is STAKES. We want to hear from you guys. If you agree or disagree with our predictions, go to playwithstakes.com/14. Place your predictions. You can win tokens, NFTs. No cost to bet, no cost to play. If you use invite code Southeastern14 when you sign up, you'll get a double welcome bonus. Okay, guys, Alabama put its foot down on Vanderbilt, allowing just a field goal, and I don't think Vandy got to 100 yards of total offense until the fourth quarter. Arkansas's offense is going to be a different challenge. Arkansas scoring 33.5 a game, Bama giving up 7.3. Arkansas is throwing 9.7 per attempt. Alabama giving up 5.2. Arkansas averaging 4.9 per rush. Bama giving up 1.9. That includes sacks. Boy, this is two opposite forces here. Arkansas can put up points and yards, and Alabama has been pretty stingy against everyone.
Yeah, 7.2 points per game, I believe is what you said. That's the third best scoring defense in the country there with Alabama. It's ridiculous. And we all know Will Anderson. We know the names Will Anderson. We know the names Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, all these guys. But Blake, the thing is that's against a typical drop back type offense where Arkansas, they'll do that. But I think you're going to see Kendall Browse kind of empty throw everything but the kitchen sink at Alabama in this one. I expect to see a little bit of trickery, a little bit of power right there in their punch them in the mouth to see if Alabama can withstand it if somebody just comes right at them, because Arkansas has the offensive line to be able to do that.
Yeah, we know Arkansas fans in the live stream the other night were not pleased with the trickery they had in the Texas A&M game. Hopefully the trickery goes a little bit better in this one. But I think you're right. I mean, creativity, we've talked about it. I think when you have the kind of setup Arkansas has offensively, when you have KJ Jefferson and all the different things he can do, that gives you a little more variety with what you can work with. And we've talked about the big plays for me. Like we always have said that this year with Arkansas, it's just they have the potential to make those big plays, whether it is Jefferson, whether it's Sanders, whether it's other guys. And I think going up against an Alabama defense like this, that really wants to limit those big type of plays, and has someone like Will Anderson that can make that challenging to even get you where you want to go offensively. That is, I think, another question mark heading into this one for Arkansas.
Okay, guys, Vegas, if you take the over-under and the spread, the predicted final basically is 38-22 Alabama. That's on a 16.5-point over-under. Or 16.5-point spread, and the over-under at what? At 60.5. Again, the numbers have bounced around a little bit. Let's start with you, Blake. Give me a final score and a little info here.
Of course. Let's start with Blake. I looked at that number at 17. I think there's something to what Blaine said with just this being in Fayetteville. I think there is something to that, and I think you could see Arkansas come out, get off to a good start, bouncing back, after that game against A&M. But I still want to see it in terms of how they're going to be able to stop Alabama's offensively, and I think that's probably my question here. I think Alabama puts up some points. I will 38-27 in the favor of Alabama.
Yeah, I will say that Arkansas can get after the passer. They've got 19 sacks on the year as a team. Yeah. So I think they will. Especially Alabama's offensive line is not the Alabama offensive lines of old. I think Arkansas will flush Bryce Young out of the pocket. But here's the thing. Do you really want that? Pick your poison, because once you flush Bryce out of the pocket, he's very good, maybe elite at getting his eyes downfield, finding guys coming open. If he's able to have that rapport with Jermaine Burton and some of those receivers, could be rough. I like Alabama to win this game by 7. I'll take them in this one, 34-27 Alabama.
Okay, I watched a good bit of Alabama Vandy Saturday night. Saban is in full-on step on your neck mode. Starters were in well into the fourth quarter. I think Bryce Young came out at the end of the third, and Jalen Milroe was still slinging the ball around the yard. I like the over in this game. I'm going Arkansas 42. Excuse me, Alabama 42, Arkansas 27. I see a lot of
You knew
points.
what you were doing there, Chris.
Yeah, right. I may have. Gosh,
We just
that's
got
a lot of points.
We just got some likes on the
Towards
video
Alabama.
and then immediate thumbs down on the video over there.
Right.
Arkansas fans, we got an alternate video coming soon for our alternate picks for you. So
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our sponsor, Stakes. We're picking every SEC game this week and every week. So hit that subscribe button. We'll see you again soon.